we see the world around us in 3 dimensions. But ordinary photography shows us only 2. Now you don't have to settle for 2-dimensional pictures of a 3-dimensional world. Introducing a new dimension in photography. The Nishika N8000 3D camera. Because the world isn't flat.
What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about the camera that's definitely more trouble than it's worth, but a camera that hurts so good, the Nishika N8000. The Nishika is a gimmicky plastic camera that was made in the 80s that boasted a futuristic lenticular design that would elevate your normal basic 2D picture into a 3D viewing experience. How it works is the Nishika takes 4 half-frame photos on 2 frames of 35mm film in the same split second that you fire the shutter from slightly different angles. You would shoot a roll of film, send it off to the company, and they would send you back holographic cards that sort of would look 3D. In 1999, the company shut down and the Nishika became a dust collector until recently. Someone figured out how to repurpose these photos by taking the scans, stacking them on top of each other, and animating them so they kind of became like a wigglegram, like a boomerang sort of, and the Nishika lived to see another day. I recently came across a Nishika at my grandparents' house. I opened a bag and inside was a brand new untouched Nishika and a flash that had never been opened. So I took it, and I had been considering trying to buy one, but now they're on eBay for about $300, which I personally don't think you should spend on this camera, but if you have it, you know, spend your money how you want. I was super stoked that I didn't have to pay $300 for this camera, and I put a roll of film into it, and I think on that first roll that I shot, I got maybe 1 good picture. The rest of the film, it jammed, which is a common problem that happens. But the next few rolls, everything was fine. About 2 weeks ago, one of my friends was shooting a music video and asked me to come and shoot some behind the scenes pictures, so I decided to bring the Nishika along. The concept for the video was a love story between a boy and a girl, and they meet in elementary school, and it follows them all the way to college and the ups and downs of their relationship.
Can't go back to them days, so I'm sitting here hurting. I'm the one to blame, but nobody here is perfect. I mean, we was working.
Turn your head sort of towards me. A little bit more. Yeah. Alright. 1, 2, 3. Sweet. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Sweet. The first roll I shot was Ilford HP5, and about, I want to say 6 pictures in, the film ended up jamming. So I had to take it out, and I hope that it turned out okay. The Nishika is a notoriously fickle camera because it was made with the cheapest of the plastics. And the only reason why it's super heavy is because there's a bar of lead inside of it. The next 2 rolls I put in were Kodak Ultramax 400, which is a pretty cheap stock of color film. The main place we shot was at a school, at a local high school's art building. The first part was outside. The second location, we moved inside the art building to the auditorium, where it was a sort of, I think they said it was a prom scene, so like a school dance. The third place was a hallway where they were sort of having a little bit of a tiff, and then the day was over.
Several days later.
So I got my scans back, and now I'm gonna go into Photoshop and animate them so they get that kind of wiggly effect. So I'm gonna choose this photo, and there's 4 of them, so let me just select them all and open them. Depending on where you get your pictures processed, they'll either come back as a strip of 4 or like I got mine developed at the darkroom and they scanned each individual picture. So what you'll do is take each individual picture and drop them on top of each other, sort of. I start with a 5x6 canvas and then just drop them in so I have room to crop and all of that. Then I align them on the side and at the top and then scale it up. Like that. And then you'll take the top 3 pictures and change the opacity to 50 just so you can see what's underneath it, and then make all the other layers not visible and work with the top one. And you're gonna wanna choose something to anchor your picture to, so it's the anchor point for what it wiggles around, basically. I usually choose the eyes just because I usually use this for portraits, so it's easier to have something that's the focus of the picture be the anchor point. That looks good. You change the opacity to 100, make that layer hidden, and then do that for all of them. Once they're all lined up, you're gonna go to Window and then create a timeline. It will either say create a video timeline or it'll say create frame animation. You want it to say video timeline, hit that, and then you just choose how long each picture is shown before it loops back. So I usually like it, I think 4 frames is a good number. So that second layer will be 4, then 8, then 12, and then bring this back to 16, 20, and then the bottom 2 are gonna be at 24 because it loops, so you don't want this one to be longer or it won't work out right. So then you go here, make sure that loop playback is selected so it just plays back and forth so you can see it. And there you go. Once it's animated, I usually crop it and I move it to the middle just so you can sort of see it right here. It has like the pictures overlap because they're not 100% aligned. So I usually just crop it right where it starts to overlap on that top picture, just to make it a little neater. There. Something that makes it easier is if you have Snap 2, I think is what it's called. enabled on Photoshop, so then you just do it until it snaps to whatever edge. So there you go. Then you render it. There we have it. So you're gonna open up Premiere and import that picture video, add it to the timeline, and you'll probably have to either scale it down or scale it up. I'm going to scale it up. Looks good. Then you will copy it and paste it as many times as you want. I have it for 5 seconds right now, and there you go. That's how you make them wiggle. That's it. That's how you do the Nishika things. If you ever find yourself with a Nishika, I would love to see your pictures. So follow me on Instagram and tag me if you take any pictures like that. Leave a comment, like this video if you liked it, subscribe if you want, no pressure. Wash your hands for 20 seconds or longer, wear a mask, and remember, good burger should have taught you we're all dudes. Later, skaters.